Hey, welcome back to another episode of Story of Me. So, this is the podcast show where I tell you about me because I feel like if you're going to listen to me every day, if you're going to listen to me every day, if you're going to subscribe to what I'm doing and buy my products and help move the mission and all that other stuff, you have to know who your leader is. You have to know who the person is. So that's why I made this podcast, Story of Me. Um, I haven't really posted in it for a while um, because I just haven't. And I'm a Scorpio. We don't tell shit. It's like, so this is this this is one of the most vulnerable podcasts I have on the network because I'm opening up and telling you what happened. Like what happened from my vantage point, and I'm going to do my best not to name names, not to name names or like, because it's not. And the funny thing is, you would think that I didn't want to name names because, oh, I don't want people saying bad. I don't want people getting mad at me. No, I don't want to name names because I don't want to give them that any steam or any like clout. It's like you didn't build me. I was built. I built myself and brick by brick, I built myself up in despite what was done. You understand? This podcast, I'm definitely going to cry. So if you don't like criers, do not watch this. You have my permission not to watch it. There's a whole bunch of other shows on the podcast network. Don't watch this one. This one is the one that makes you go, "Oh, my heart." Mi corazón, and it's like it should come with a warning label because it's like I can't and I used to say this a lot more than I say it now. I can't expect people to open up to me if I don't open up to them and I don't tell them first or show them first how to be vulnerable. You understand? Everybody talks about, oh, you got to be vulnerable, you got to be vulnerable. But all these people, none of them are really vulnerable. Like, I watched a lot of TikTok. I do. I watch a lot of TikTok. I watch YouTube. Every platform that I am on, except for Apple Podcasts. I haven't really watched Apple Podcasts, but we're going to watch that now. So, yeah. So, as you can see, I'm stalling. I hate when I do this. I start going off like on a completely different tangent so I don't have to talk about shit. And then I lose my train of thought and I'm just like, damn, there we go. But that is a defense mechanism. You understand? It's something we need to clear. No, it's just a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism. It's like it's a program that I put in to protect my heart because it was I did a root clearing a session today on myself and I had to fall asleep. I fell asleep for 5 hours. That's how strong that clearing was. And I was sitting and I was thinking, I was talking and thinking, I was sitting and I was just like, I don't really feel different. I was like, I don't really feel different. Granted, I cleared like 10 things. And it was just, it seems like not a lot, but it really is. Especially when 10 things have like 5 or 6 things in it that you got to clear and different things. But I digress. And I was like, it's more like you cleaned your kitchen. Like you clean something that it should have been cleaned to begin with. That's what it felt like. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like anything like really big or whatever. Until I woke up from my nap. Not until I woke up from my nap. Until I sat in this chair. I don't know what's going on with this chair, but until I sat in this chair, I was like, yeah, it was not that. I was sitting in the chair when I said it. I was like, yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's okay. And I started talking, I started thinking, and I was just like, holy shit, you know, it is so hard for me to say it. It's so hard for me to say it. I was abused. I was abused. I was hurt. I was abused. And I never allowed myself to say it out loud because I always felt like if I said it out loud, I would I would just shatter. Oh my god, this is a lot more vulnerable than I would like to be. I felt like I would just shatter, like not even like glass, but like crystal, just shatter. The thinnest crystal, just shatter. And when I said it out loud, it's like every part of me just went. It did. It went fucking finally. It's like fucking finally. And it's odd because I don't know about anyone else, but like breathing, abuse was my entire life up until now. Up until now, it was people were just doing shit. People were just doing shit. People were just saying shit, you know. And the worst part was they didn't care. like I saw that you really don't care. You really don't care that I'm crying. Like I'll be sitting in front of the person crying and it's like I don't care. And I'm just like, what did I do to you that makes my tears irrelevant? Does that make sense to me? To sense to you? Like, what did I have to do to you for my tears, for my hurt, to you not to give a shit about my hurt? That was the running abuse. That was the running theme. And what made it crazy was they took control of my mind. Does that make sense? If there's someone watching this right now and you're just like, I feel like I'm constantly betraying myself, right? And the reason you feel like you are constantly betraying yourself is because they have control of your mind. They have control of your mind and they are making you believe that you are wrong. There are people in this world, and I've met them, and I know for a fact that this is a widespread program or virus. The shit that we call viruses, that's not a real virus. That's just bacteria that someone who's a virus created. Does that make sense? So, what's happening is they have control over your mind. This happened to me my entire life up until now. Up until probably a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, you understand? That's when all this shit was like, oh no, we're not doing this. Like, we're not doing this. We're ill treated, but we will never be abused again. We will never be abused by anyone again. Does that make sense? It's like my past life. I was never like. It was weird. It was no one ever came up to me and just hit me. You understand? They did. They tried. It was funny. They thought they were joking around and stuff like that until I put them in like almost chokehold. And then they were like, "Oh, stop, stop, stop! Keisha, you play too rough." That was always the thing. Keisha plays too rough. No, Keisha plays for keeps. So, but that's besides the point. But it's like I was born in the 70s. I was born, let's stop playing this game. I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s, right? I was a teenager in the 90s. You understand? And in the 2000s, I was like a young adult getting, and then blah, 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 right? In the 70s and 80s, you got your ass whooped. Let's stop playing these games. Like I'm sorry if this is gonna break the internet. I'm sorry if people are gonna be like, oh my God, this is bad. Yes, it was. It was fucking bad. You understand? And I understand because I hear the older people. I understand that you guys had it worse than we do. We're not talking about you right now. We're talking about my generation, the generation that is both heartbroken and proud. Does that make sense? We're that in between. We're both heartbroken and we're proud because the way that I am with my kids, I don't like beat on my kids. And I don't even when I did know better and I used to whoop Matthew's ass because Matthew used to get it. Jaden got it just a little bit, but Matthew used to get it because he had the old programming trying to get out, right? And even then, it was never for nothing. I got whooped for leaving my lunchbox at school. Do you know how much shit these kids leave at school? And they leave like electronics and stuff. They leave stuff. It's crazy. I'm just like, please get it tomorrow, you know? Yo, how you lose a coat in the winter? Like they would lose a coat. And I'm just like, yo, I would get my ass beat with a belt for that. I'm not going, and then my parents can say whatever they want to say. They can say whatever they want to say. They can say whatever they want to do. You and God know the truth. Does that make sense? You can say whatever you want to say to people that they got it wrong or no, that's not what it is. I own my shit. My kids have sat in front of my face numerous times and told me how bad of a mother I was and what I was doing wrong. And you know what I did? I fucking apologized for it. I didn't give an excuse. I didn't give a reason. I didn't give anybody blame. And I could have, but I didn't. They said I was wrong and they were right. I was fucking wrong. No matter why it was done, it was wrong. And how dare you not allow people to say they were hurt? That's like the biggest self-betrayal. You can't say that you're hurt. I ain't doing this shit for the views. I'm doing this for the person who's watching it, sitting on the floor of their room and they're crying because they don't understand what the fuck is going on. You're a good person. You sit here, you think about people, you help people, your heart is always on the right side of things. So much so you fucking glow and people still hurt you. What is that? They are fucked up individuals and you need to go through it, get over it, and heal from it. That's all I can tell you because you are here to help the next wave. You're here to help the wave after me. Does that make sense? You're here to learn what I've learned so you can take it and help somebody else. That's what I'm learning because I've had teachers from my first wave. You understand? And I've taken what they've taught and I've teaching it to you. You understand? I understand what they're talking about now with the L factor. It's not God, it's information. I get it, I give it to you. It's information. It's not exclusive. Does that make sense? There's exclusive information that I will get for you, whoever's watching this. Hi. Whoever's watching this, and it's going to change or unlock something in your life and then you're going to take it and you're going to go do or speak or whatever your modality is, you're going to go do it and it's going to unlock somebody else. That's just what's happening. But what happens is there's distractions and confusion, and that's part of the game. You have to weed through that confusion and like focus on what you're doing. So that's what all this is. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you think this is fun? This is not fun. This is not fun. It's not a fun like, oh my god, la la la. It's interesting, especially the scientist in me. It's interesting to um be going through. It's interesting to be, you know, part of something that I can see is a lot bigger than, you know, than watching movies and TV and stuff like that because TV is incorporated in it. It's all one thing and it's wild how the more I pay attention, the more I start realizing this shit is like a video game, you know. Your body is the skins and stuff. You could just change shit now, especially now you could customize shit. I wouldn't. Once you cut the suit, it's never the same. But yeah, well, cut open the suit. It's not quite the same. Um, but yeah, I said it out loud and I said it on video. I was neglected. I was ostracized. I was belittled. I was stuffed down. I was put to be made. I was scared of everything. I was scared of everything. And the only way I could stop being scared of everything was getting mad. So I stayed in that I'm angry energy because it kept coming. It's like it just kept coming at me, and they took control of my mind, which in turn, if they can take control of your mind, they got you. Like it's not my brain. You notice how I didn't say my brain. They didn't take control of my brain. Took control of my mind. Your mind is who you are. You understand? Your mind is it's kind of like the final frontier. Exactly. Whoever said that is 100% right. It's like the final frontier. There is nothing else. Like they got to the core of you and took it. It's kind of like Moana. They took the heart. You understand? And then it's like everything else just follows suit. And it's wild. It is wild that there are people out there that are just programmed and running a program to hurt others. We got to stop it. You got to wake up because someone is standing in front of you crying because they're really hurt, and they're really hurt. They're not a manipulative person. They're really hurt. And you going to act like it's no big deal? That is crazy. I don't understand that. Now, for me, there are people on this planet right now that if you stand in front of me and cry, I'm going to be extremely indifferent. I'm not going to give a fuck. Like, I don't think indifferent is it. I'm just not going. It's like, indifferent is like you don't care either way. But it's like, it's whatever's worse than that. That's how I feel. It's like, you can't sit in front of me and cry like that. Like, not everybody on the planet, but there are certain people on the planet right now. You're not even allowed in the kingdom, empire, or anything. You are on the outskirts. You have been exiled. So I understand why a person would be indifferent, because I get like that. But what I never understood was, if I didn't do anything to you, what is making you treat me like that? You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do anything to you, if I didn't do anything to you. So what the hell is this? And that's the part that hurts. That it hurts. I'm clearing it, but it hurts. And the beauty of it, it doesn't hurt as much as it did before because of the clearings. But knowing that I made the choices for me, you understand? I made the choices for me to move and to block and to get out of things and around people that didn't work for me, and I have control over my mind. I have the whole system is integrated and online. I've told you guys how to do that. Go back to other videos. It's like the whole squad in this, whatever this is, it's it's like Voltron. It's like Voltron. It was like Voltron, but it's like it's all connected now. So like there's no, like, there could be outside influences. Don't get it twisted. I am still neglected by a lot of people that I shouldn't be neglected from, or neglected by. I am ill treated sometimes. I feel I'm ill treated sometimes, but I'm not being abused by it, because it's just like, all right, whatever. I know who I am. I know what you get when you get me. I know what you get when you get me. And it's like, if you can't see the beauty that is me, you don't deserve me, and you're a fool. You understand? Plain and simple. If you don't choose to be with me, hang out with me, understand me, have fun with me. I can't understand it, but at the same time I've grown enough to understand that's not my shit. That's your shit. You understand? And honestly, if you're not here and I'm not hanging out with you and I'm not doing things with you, I'm not supposed to. I've grown and matured to that point. It still hurts and it makes me sad, but it also makes me go, nah, there's something wrong with you. Because I know there's nothing wrong with me. Does that make sense? It's kind of like I've worked on myself so much up until this point that I know I'm not the problem. Because if I was, I would see it. Does that make sense? Because there's no relationship now that I don't know where I'm an issue, or I'm just like whatever, dude, you know, or not the issue, right? And it's just like I know when I'm the one who put the relationship on pause. I know when I'm the one that's like, yeah, nah, this is not gonna work for me. You understand? I know that now. Before, it was always done out of fear. It was done out of um just immaturity. And I feel, for me, this is the best time of my entire life, because I finally understood and understand who the hell I am. Like who, and because no one else is telling me who I am. I'm telling me who I am. And then I'm cross-referencing it. Is this who I want to be? You understand? Is this who I want to be? And is this like part of what I want to do? Even this mission thing that I keep talking to me about. It's like every so often I check in with myself. I'm like, do we still want to do this? Have we sacrificed too much? Do we want more? Do we need more? And here we are. We're still here. We're still here with the goddamn mission. We're still here with this goddamn mission and contracts, so contracts and shit. So it's like we're still fucking here. So but yeah, and if you've been abused, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Especially not that anyone had it worse than anyone else, but especially that middle generation, Gen X. It's like we're both happy and sad at the same time. We're sad because it's just like, why couldn't it have been in our generation where people started to treat their children? It did at the tail end of it, at like maybe the 90, like 80s turning into the 90s. Whenever Dr. Spock came out, for me, I don't know about anybody else, but when Dr. Spock came out, it was like God sent an angel, because he was like pretty much saying, stop beating your kids. It's like you need to do better with your children. I don't know what he said. I'm just telling you what happened in my household. We stopped getting our ass beat. My mother stopped hitting us. She stopped like doing stuff. Like she used to flip out for no fucking reason. And we would used to be like, yo, what is wrong with you? Father, same shit. But they that's when the wind of change started. And that, hey, hitting your kids is abuse. You can't really hit your kids like that. Granted, I was grown. I wasn't like grown, but I was pretty much older. And the scars were already there. And it's like, it's bad when you can remember being 3 years old and being terrified of your parents. I would never want my 3-year old terrified of me. I'm not a game. My kids know, they respect me. They're not scared of me. Yeah, they're scared if what I will do if I have to pull rank. But it's like they know that, no, I can talk to her. I don't have to flinch every time she comes near me, because you think you're gonna get your ass whooped with a belt for some dumbass reason. I knew at whatever age I was, between kindergarten or whatever, you should not get hit because you left your lunchbox at school. I just knew that I was told I wasn't a smart kid, but for me, I knew that was wrong. I knew it was wrong. And I didn't understand it. I was just like, yo. And then the funny thing is, if I'm in kindergarten, the teacher is supposed to be responsible to make sure I have all my shit. You understand? And it was just like, that's the part that I understood as a parent. I was like, why did your teacher remind you about your lunchbox? And it's just like, yes, they're always gonna leave shit, break shit, or lose shit. Like they're just fucking kids, and I understood that as a parent, probably because I was older, and my parents were fucking kids. Like they were like kids when they had us, so it was like fucking Lord of the Flies in my goddamn house because my parents aren't older than us. Are older. That was crazy. That sounded crazy. My parents aren't that much older than us. It's not like my mom had me at 45. She had me, I think, at like 19. I was an idiot at 19, so it's just like, I get it, but at the same time, there were 19-year-old mothers that took care of their kids and they loved their kids and they were very good to their children because I found them in later in life. And I was shocked. I was shocked, but I digress. But that's the gamer in my house. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm hoping this is helping and not being anyone's distraction. I'm hoping this is helping. It's helping and not being someone's distraction because I don't want my classes or my talks with you to distract you. I want it to inspire you. I want it to move you to the highest heights that you can see and what you can't. My job is to help. That's literally what I get paid for by the universe. I get paid to exist, but I get paid to to help you move your needle. I lay my shit out for you to understand that you're not by yourself because for a very long time I thought I was alone. For a very long and then another thing with my generation, there was no internet. There's no fucking internet. Like whatever you if you didn't have a telephone, like there were people who didn't have a telephone. Fuck you, I'm not that old. But you understand? So it's just like we've been right smack in the middle of technology. If there's a fucking Gen Xer that is not using technology, you're a fucking jerk. This is what we asked for. This is what we dreamed of. We dreamed of fucking AI and all this other stuff. But we're using it. If you're smart, you're using it to do or push whatever you're doing. You understand? So it's like if you're going to use AI, just use it to, even if you're just using it to have fun, fucking use it to have fun. But use technology. Yo, we wanted Transformers and all this other stuff. Now you got a Transformer that transformed by itself. What? Come on. We remember the cartoon. But I digress. But yeah, like I said, I know for me, I'm both elated and happy and sad for myself because when I was a little girl, I couldn't wear my hair like this. What? It would have been called nappy, dirty, ugly. I couldn't wear my hair like this. I did because I had no choice. And that's what it was called. It was called nappy, it was called dirty, it was called ugly. It was like they were like, why doesn't your hair move? Because my hair, I've relaxed my hair or permed my hair when I was like probably between my 20s and no, yeah, my 20s and right in like my late 40s. I used to perm my hair. And it was cool, but it always felt like damage. It always felt like damage. It always felt forced and that it never stayed the way I wanted it. Then I started adding weaves to it. I started adding weaves to my hair because I wanted to look a certain way. I didn't want to look like this. And why? Because I was abused and people kept I've been called Raggedy Ann. I've been called so many different things. And now it's like, huh, now it's more like I've had people in my life that rewrote that code. They rewrote that code for me. A lot of people rewrote the code for me. And sometimes you need people to help you rewrite a code. You can't always rewrite the codes. You can't always clear the codes or restore the codes. Sometimes you need someone else to be like, I really like your hair like that. You understand? You don't touch it unless you her man or his woman or his man or whatever. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't even really ask to touch it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they want you to touch it, they'll say you can touch it. Yeah, and they'll say it because I've done it to people. Because people will be looking at it, and I'm like, you can touch it. And then they're like, oh my god, don't touch it otherwise. But yeah, I've had people tell me and rewrite stuff that like put a mirror up to me and made me see myself past the illusion for the first time. And it helps move my needle forward. And that's what I want to do for you guys. I want to be that mirror that's like, no, you're being abused. No, you're being neglected. No, no, no. They're a fucking asshole. You understand? No, that's not correct. I've had people convince me of stuff that shocks me that I fell for that. You understand? But I also give myself grace to understand that you were doing this for the first time. You were doing this for the first time and you wanted to see the good in people. You wanted to bring out the good in people. You wanted people to treat you the way you want to be treated. So, and the way you treated them. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. For whatever reason, it didn't happen. And it sucked. People used different things as weapons and tools. And I always felt like a really expensive hammer, or a really expensive, you know, nail gun because I never felt like people wanted me for me. They wanted me because I did something, because I was good, and I'm good at a lot of different things, and I know a lot of different things, and I'm a scientist by nature, so my brain is always working and it's always thinking and solving. One of my favorite things to do is play puzzle games, like how to move to the next level in a puzzle. It's just something that stimulates my brain, and being that type of person, I got used a lot. I got used a lot because I was good at what I did. But then the funny thing was, in order to be controlled, they have to tell you you're not good enough. And one of the craziest things is when people use your sign's weakness against you. Because if you tell a Scorpio or an Aries or Capricorn that they're not good enough, they are going to do everything possible to show you that you're fucking wrong. And the people who abuse that, and me by using that, that's what they did. They told me the opposite of what was actually happening. And they knew that I was not the type of person to, or who was aware that this was happening. When if autopilot was a person, it would have my face. It would be my face, because I was on autopilot pretty much the first half of my life, and I was just absorbing shit. I was absorbing different things, and they didn't bank on the fact that I would wake up. I think I really don't believe, I really don't believe people thought I was going to wake up. I don't think people believe that. I think people were like, no, she's going to stay. Just, we can control her. We can control what happens and what she says and what she doesn't say. We can control that. And I was just like, no you can't. So I was like, no you can't, like, no you cannot, no you can't. I'm awake now. Like, now I'm not like that woke. I'm awake, like I'm alert. Like, I'm like, oh, this is a fucking, it's kind of like, there's a movie, I don't remember what movie it was, it's an older movie, and the guy would put on his glasses. He would put on these sunglasses. He'd put on the sunglasses and he would see shit for what it is. And he was like, and then he gave another pair of sunglasses to another guy and he saw the same thing. I forgot what the name of the movie was. But I watched that movie about probably a year ago, and I was shocked how close to it is right now. It was shocking. So it's like, I have a, or Dick Gregory be talking about, yeah, the once you put on the magic shades, you can't take them off. He wasn't lying. You can't take them off, and you shouldn't, because the minute you take it off, you right back in it, and it's time. I don't know how else to say that, but it's time. So, like, I guess I'm the one blowing the trumpet. It's time. It's time for us to remember, so that the second wave, that's our second wave, can go and do what they got to do. You understand? Because we're not headed, we weren't headed in the right direction. We weren't headed in the right direction. We were headed towards destruction. We were headed towards destruction and then extinction. I can't say. I was like, can I say it? I can't say anymore. Can't say anymore about that. So we're gonna cut right here, so I stay out of trouble. So this almost 40-minute video does not delete. So I love you guys. Stay up, stay blessed. Thanks for sitting with me on this session. I love you. Deuces, and I'm out.